At first glance, a defenseman who produced just 16 points in his draft year for the U.S. National Team Development Program wouldn't seem to be a logical candidate to go in the first round of the NHL Draft. But stats don't tell the whole story when it comes to EJ Emery. His impressive set of physical tools, helped by a really strong showing at the Under-18 World Championships for Team USA in April and May, it has his stock soaring. It's to the point where Emery, the son of a CFL linebacker by the way, appears almost certain to have his name called on day one of the NHL Draft. Emery's biggest strength, in short, is that he just looks like a top 4 NHL defenseman when you watch him. At 6'3", he has ideal size for the position. He's an incredibly smooth skater. Great for his size, and probably above average even in comparison to smaller players too. And he just does all the things you want an NHL defenseman to do. He blocks shots, he wins battles along the boards, he sacrifices himself for his teammates. Everything that a quality NHL defenseman does on a nightly basis, Emery already does. And he does them well. Also, despite the underwhelming scoring totals and point totals, Emery's passing ability in his own zone is actually pretty solid. He's not necessarily going to be trying stretch passes all the time or end up on highlight reels, but he sees the ice well, and he's very efficient and accurate when it comes to that first pass out of the zone, that breakout pass that sends his forwards going the other way. Emery also excels in rush coverage. He has the size and the skating ability to contain forwards, and he also has the natural instincts to know when to challenge and when to back off and just keep them to the outside. That's not a natural ability, a natural instinct that every defenseman has, especially at this young of an age. Add in Emery's natural athleticism, his strong work ethic, his character, and it's easy to see why teams think he's going to maximize his talents at the next level. So what about the weaknesses? Well, the offensive ability is definitely in serious question. He doesn't really help his teammates create goals in the offensive zone very often. There's a reason why he finished with 0 goals of his own and just 16 assists in his draft year. Emery's shooting ability, it probably can be best considered to be weak, and he certainly doesn't have instincts in terms of getting pucks through traffic, at least not yet. And in the offensive zone as a whole, he was generally a non-factor when you watched him. He mostly would defer to his defensive partner, guys like Cole Hudson, more skilled guys, more offensively oriented guys, to pretty much do all the offensive zone puck work. It's not that he doesn't have skills. He does. He just tends to take more of a back seat with the puck on the attack. He serves more as a support valve, let's say, for his defensive partner who's more of the risk taker. Some people could say that's a positive, actually, that he knows his role, that he's willing to defer. But you do worry that passive nature, it could be hardwired into him. And even if he's not with a guy who's more of an offense generator, that he might stay passive and not generate much at all either. Also, going back to Emery's size, yeah, he's got the size and he's got the skating ability, but despite the fact that he theoretically could be a physically intimidating defenseman, especially when he puts on some weight, he doesn't play especially physical. He's not especially mean. He's more of a technician than an intimidator. And alongside that, he does need to get a lot bigger and stronger. There are reports that he struggled to keep weight on. Some guys, that's a problem. They can work out a ton, they can eat right, and yet for some reason, they just can't put the weight on. That's a concern. It's a concern, especially given his frame. You don't want him to be skinny and not be able to hold up to the punishment of NHL hockey at the next level. So in the end, with EJ Emery, you do have to dream on him a little bit if you want to envision him becoming a top 4 NHL defenseman. He's not a finished product by any means, but he does have all the skills to make you think that he can get there one day. The big question, does he have the offensive instincts that allow him to truly take advantage of all those impressive and intriguing skills? It's pretty hard to make it in the NHL as a non-physical defensive defenseman who never scores after all. You have to be producing something offensively. You have to be doing something in the offensive zone. He doesn't have to be dominant there. He just has to be useful. That's why there's risk in his projection, but there's also a lot of reward.
We all silly like the mayor.